This is the Pentagon Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary, Sabrina Singh, holding the press briefing, and she looks troubled. She looks troubled in her face. You can see the timestamp right here. This happened today, January 29, 2022. They're talking about the service members. They're talking about, hello, Applebrooks, honey. They're talking about Defense Secretary Austin Lloyd, you all, is who they're talking about also, who was hospitalized for like 4 days or 2 days, and no one ever told anybody what was going on. But Sabrina looks very, very worried. Sabrina has like dark circles under her eyes. She does. And I'm going to show this from my laptop since I need to take the time to try to figure out how am I going to do my OBS. So hello, everyone. Let me flip it around so you can see Sabrina. We used to watch Sabrina all the time, but she does look very troubled within her spirit. This is not the AI Sabrina at all. This is not the CGI. Hello, so you can see her. And let's see if I got it loud enough. This just came out on the January the 29th, and there is a lot of stuff going on. And if there's a shadow, I'm sorry, I'm using my cell phone on my computer, my laptop. But let's look at Sabrina. Hello.
Things. Number one, since Secretary Austin has now returned to the building, can you tell us whether or not we will be able to see him in the briefing room this week?
I don't have, oh, sure, go ahead.
You want to get that first? Go ahead.
Sure, I don't have an update just yet, but it's something that we're certainly working towards, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay. And then secondly, can you give us an update on the number of wounded and any breakdown between Air Force and Army on that? And also, any update on the perpetrators of the attack? There's been a lot of chatter about KH. Can you tell us whether that is the leading suspicion right now?
Sure. So on the number of injuries, right now we assess that there are more than 40 that have been injured. We do expect that number to continue to fluctuate as our service members, as you know, with TBI, report symptoms later on, so that number could continue to grow. In terms of attribution for the attack, we know this is an IRGC-backed militia. It has the footprints of Kataib Hezbollah, but not making a final assessment on that. Our teams here are continuing to do the analysis, but we know that Iran is behind it, and certainly, as we've said before here in this briefing room, Iran continues to arm and equip these groups to launch these attacks, and we will certainly hold them responsible.
Just clarification,
Sabrina, honey, get that tongue out of your cheek. You're talking tongue in cheek. You are. This is Sabrina. She is the Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary. She is beneath Brigadier General Pat Ryder, who is the the Pentagon Press Secretary. But something's going on, and Sabrina looks really troubled in her face. And something has happened in Jordan, and with the U.S. troop and stuff. And they said Secretary Austin has came into the Pentagon, and they're going to want to see if they can see Defense Secretary Austin this week. But something is going on. They had this briefing, and normally they do their Pentagon press briefings on Thursdays, but this is Monday.
You said...
What?
I don't do Congress the way most people do.
Oh, come on now.
I'm the only Democrat in the...
No, I should have went directly to the Pentagon press briefing, not that.
You know that Iran or Iranian leaders were actually behind this attack, as in planned, coordinated, or directed it?
We know that Iran certainly plays a role with these groups. They arm and equip and fund these groups. I don't have more to share on terms of an intelligence assessment on if leaders in Iran were directing this attack, but what I can tell you is that we know these groups are supported by Iran, and therefore they do have their fingerprints on this, but I can't tell you more in terms of who directed the attack. Jen.
Sabrina, did this drone take off from an IRGC base in Syria?
I don't have more on the point of origin just yet of where this attack originated from.
And was it human error that failed to recognize that this was an Iranian drone coming to the base?
It's something that Central Command is looking into to find out exactly what happened. As I mentioned at the top, they're doing the assessment on this. They're working through what they need to do to make sure our service members, whether being in Jordan, Iraq, and Syria, are further protected. But I just don't have more to share at this time.
Lastly, what kind of drone struck the base? Is this the same kind of Iranian drone being used by the Russians in Ukraine?
That's something that we're looking at right now. We're assessing the drone, but I don't have more to share just yet. Idris.
Just to follow up, you said Iran was behind the attack. So what does that mean? Have you seen evidence of financing or directing anything specific to this attack? Not just generally, but specifically.
So maybe I need to clarify further from what Lita had mentioned. We know that Iran funds these groups, like Kataib Hezbollah. We know that these IRGC-backed militias are the ones responsible for attacks on our troops in Iraq and Syria. Beyond that, we're doing an intelligence assessments. We don't have. I can't give you today that.
This attack linking it to Iran.
We just know that Iran funds these groups like Kataib Hezbollah and other groups that have attacked our forces, but I don't have more to share on that.
You're saying, right?
As a general matter, yes.
And the second thing is, you've talked about how the conflict is contained, the Gaza-Israel conflict is contained. Now that U.S. troops have been attacked in another country.
Look at Sabrina's face. Sabrina looks worried. She looks a little troubled. She looks very troubled. I don't know. I'm just going to say this. I don't know if this is Sabrina's lips because her lips used to be different, but this is different right here with her lips right here and here and here. Gina, why are you talking about her lips? Because I remember her lips before. I remember her lips before. I don't remember her lips looking like that. Was there a Sabrina movie? No, this is the Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary, Sabrina Singh, the Pentagon. She is the civilian deputy, like this assistant Pentagon Press Secretary. She gives the briefing when the main Brigadier General Pat Ryder is not available, the Air Force General. So,
Are you willing to say that the conflict is no longer contained and it's spreading?
I wouldn't say that the conflict is spreading in that we've seen over 100 attacks on U.S. forces, unfortunately, over 100 attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria and, of course, now in Jordan. We don't want to see a widening of this conflict. We don't see this conflict widening as it still remains contained to Gaza. But this attack was certainly escalatory in that it killed 3 service members, 3 of our.
okay, I can't, Danny, was this Blackjack Gator, honey? I cannot pull up the pictures of Sabrina from before because it's on my big computer. I don't have it on my laptop, but the lips are not the same. This lip on her mouth does not look like the Sabrina's lips. The war is coming soon. Oh, it's coming. That's why they started the unit. They had started the new unit. What was it called? The UAP, the aerial drone unit. They made a new position for someone to be in charge of that. Let me tell you when this happened. Let me tell you when this happened. When this unit came into being with the, the Defense Department, it happened on the day that the time traveler said, which was December of last, was it 2023? Or was 2022? What year are we in? 2022. It's right when the big old flying saucer happened over the observatories in Hawaii, and we started catching those ships there. That was like November of 2022. And then it come the day for the UFO disclosure to be made known, where this time traveler said it would happen. It was in December something. And the camera shut down at the observatories. And on the day when we wanted to go there, the Pentagon had announced their new department the UAP department where they were going to do all these drones and stuff like this. They created the department for the drones. Hello. So let's do this.
U.S. service members. And as the president has said, we don't see conflict. We don't want to see a widening of a regional war, but we will respond at a time and place of our choosing.
It's not spreading when troops literally have died in another country.
Yeah. Well, again, but they've also been launching these attacks since October 17th. And again, we can't discount the fact that these attacks are incredibly dangerous, put our service members at risk, but they have not, up until yesterday, inflicted lethal harm. They have been predominantly minor injuries and minor damage to infrastructure.
So she said she didn't want it to spread, and the guy said, hasn't it spread since more or less the troops have got hit in Jordan? See, this does not look like the normal Sabrina at all. I don't know if it's her. She does not look happy. She looks rather distraught. They had the apartment. You can go look at the Pentagon press briefing videos we did here on the YouTube channel. We have a playlist of the Pentagon press briefing. And we showed that press briefing when they had brought out the head of the press, the head of that department, along with this this soldier who had developed something. So that was like 2022, in the year 2022, and now we're 2024.
Yeah, Missy.
Ask if you could address the broader trajectory for American forces in Iraq and Syria, and will these attacks affect the ongoing discussions between the United States and the government of Iraq about the future of the American presence there?
I see a look of trouble. It's not, is there? No, look at that look on her face. Based on her facial expressions, she knows more than she's allowed to say. You can see it in her face. Now, she very well could have lost a lot of weight too. She looks troubled. She really looks troubled. This is, it's not good.
Or, there have been some reports that the United States is reviewing plans for the future troop presence in Syria. Can you talk about how this will or will not impact those deliberations?
I think what you're referring to is the higher military commission that we discussed last week. So we're focused on working with our Iraqi partners regarding how to respond to the attack that claimed 3 U.S. service members. We remain committed to the HMC process and will continue to focus on it at the appropriate time. I don't have anything to preview on troops levels or changes in Iraq and Syria, but we are committed to the HMC process, and that is ongoing.
Look at that look in her face. She's not happy. I wouldn't be happy either, even with her mouth, the way her mouth is. No, she don't want to get up there and give that press briefing, but she don't have a choice, because when Pat Ryder does not do it, she is the next in charge to do the Pentagon press briefing. The AI generated clone, we have documented that before.
Could you just say, would I be right to say that this lethal attack on American forces and the potential for a response, which President Biden has kind of foreshadowed explicitly, would you say that it will not have an impact on U.S. plans for the troop presence in Iraq and Syria, or is it too soon to say that?
Well, I think it's too soon to say that. And also, I would say that you have to remember that the HMC was already happening and was something that was announced back in August of 2023. The attacks on October 7th did delay some of those conversations from happening and the discussions from starting with HMC, but we're still committed to that process. We're still committed to working with the Iraqi government, and we are going to continue to do so, but I don't have anything more to preview on what that means for our force levels. Yeah.
Hey, I'm done with Sabrina. I'm done with Sabrina, you all. That's the Pentagon press secretary, Sabrina. They got the maps out. Look at this. Pentagon identifies the soldiers by the drone attack, and that's where it happened right there. Hey, and plus, over here in this area, that's where the Red Sea is at. That's where the, around in this area is where the shipping container ships were getting attacked. In this area by the Red Sea, by the Strait of Hormuz, I don't know, whatever it was, right down in there in that area. We did a video whenever it was, you all, we did it. So there's something going on. There is. And it'll escalate. There's no reason why it won't escalate. She does not look happy at all. She looks exhausted. She looks like she's lost weight. She's stressed out. Yeah. There's a Stargate there, Pamela. Yeah. Well, they probably want it. They're fighting for the Stargate is what they're doing. I am going to go with this right here. And it just happened. I mean, it probably didn't just happen, but they just made it known about that. She looks so exhausted. She looks so exhausted. She looks so tired. Really tired. I wouldn't want to give the briefing. I wouldn't. This is serious. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm turning that off. So I'm going to go. You all, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your comments. We just got to stay alert because the world is changing. It's ever changing. We're changing with it. So with that being said, hello. Wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. It's not evening yet. It's not 6 o'clock. Thank you for your comments. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all for subscribing. And thank you for joining. And could you please give this video a thumbs up on the way out? And I will see you later this evening. Love you.